think the treatment largely has been a massively positive experience for Freya, and for myself as a parent. I think because it's quite a traumatic thing for a parent as well as a child. Obviously it's happened to Freya and that's really terrible, but I think as a parent there's all sorts of emotions running alongside that, and I think children are quite switched on. They know when you're feeling upset yourself as a parent, and I think there's a mechanism in them to protect you. So the fact that she's been able to talk to somebody completely independent of the family in a really safe and trusting way has been a really positive experience for Freya, and Julia's kind of involved us in that process as parents as well, which has just given me the confidence, I think, just to talk about her experiences more. I think sometimes you try to crack on business as usual, put a brave face on things, but really what's been really positive is us just being more open as a family and talking about things. And actually it's had like a knock-on effect, I'd say, on us as a family anyway, just in terms of talking more about our children's emotional well-being. So it's been a really, really positive experience. So straight away, it just felt like a safe, supportive place to come. And it wasn't just the medical, physical aspect, it was the recognition of the trauma attached to her experience, that nobody else, from back home had kind of really given any consideration for. And for me, that's been the lasting effect. That's been the bit that we've really felt, is the psychological impact it had on Freya, and the change in her after the accident. She's quite a tough cookie. She got on with the physical bit. It wasn't nice, but she was really brave. But it was more, you can fix that. But it was more the long-term emotional trauma that I would say was the bit that I felt really supported with here, and I don't think we would have had that if we hadn't have come here. I think just the level it feels like very individual care, like it's very much about the child is at the centre of everything, and this very much felt like our experience probably would have been completely different to the next parent's experience because it is so tailored to the child. I felt like it wasn't like we were just going through a care pathway. It was actually, this is your child, this is what she needs, and if we need to carry on seeing her, then that's great. She's really benefiting from the psychological support, and I think that's what's been really, for me, has really stood out, that actually it's been about whether we've had the right level of support and whether Freya's had the right level of support. It wasn't just a case of we've patched her up, we've fixed her, off you go. This was more about actually we recognise the impact of this kind of injury on a child, and the potential long-term implications this could have on her kind of moving forward. And I think that's been really, really, it's just been amazing really, just to have that long-term input and support that I just don't think you often get these days. And Freya's just always been at the centre of it. So it's been great.
And also they make sure that you are okay with also what's happening, but the child's also at the centre of support as well.
Yeah. Okay. So Freya always knows exactly, she's always known what's happening, why it's happening, and she was always very involved in the process. She's 10 years old, but she knows her own mind, and that was really, made her feel very responsible and grown up, and I think she's really gained a lot from that. I think for Freya, the major barrier for her was going into school with an injury. It was quite obvious. She had the injury to her neck, she had a big dressing on her neck. For a child to go into school, drawing attention to themselves like that was quite difficult. So for Freya to say goodbye to me at the school gate was pretty tough for her. Children just want to fit in and be like everyone else, don't they? So that, I think initially that was really, really difficult for her. And I think from my own point of view, a barrier with the emotions that I was experiencing alongside the difficulty she was having, that somehow made me feel maybe that I was letting her down a little bit. So I had quite a lot of anger running through me because, the nature of the way the accident happened, and that's not a helpful emotion to be, to have to support your child. So I'd say me being in a place to give her that right level of emotional support was definitely a barrier, because it was quite a stressful thing as a parent to witness your child go through, really. Over time, with the support we've had here, that has made school easier, because we've been supported in ways to kind of help Freya at school, whether that be through me communicating better with the teacher, I guess being braver and being Freya's advocate at school, to kind of giving Freya techniques for how to deal with kind of stressful situations at school. So that has been positive, that through coming here that has helped school. But I would say without that support we'd had here, I think we probably would have had a longer term issue with kind of the day-to-day and going into school.
I say the people here are really nice, and you don't need to worry, because you're going to get help, and it's not something really big, it's something quite small, and you can get over it.
I think there's a lot of focus on the physical recovery side of things, and obviously that is hugely important. We were given a leaflet regarding the access to like psychological support, and I didn't instantly think, oh yeah, we need to do that. I guess I kind of thought, oh, I don't know if we need that. You start to kind of convince yourself that everything's okay, and actually I will be all right, stretch services, maybe somebody else needs it more, but actually I'm so glad that we opted in to having that longer term kind of psychological support, because it was only when Freya started seeing Julia that we really started to unravel kind of what was going on for her emotionally, and I would say it was a massive part of her recovery. I'm not sure that she'd be in the place that she's in now without having access to that support. I kind of thought maybe it was a bit of a tick boxing thing we were being offered, we can offer this, come for a consultation, that'll be that. But actually, she met with Julia and started to really explore how she felt, which then showed to me that there were things going on for her emotionally that needed support. So without that, I just don't think she would have made the progress that she's made. And actually, I'd say she's a more confident child now than she was before she had her accident, which seems really bizarre. But it has really helped Freya to overcome anxiety and that she's had anyway. I think things maybe that she'd prevented herself from doing because she was scared of it, but actually she's doing things now that I don't think she would have done beforehand. So she was in a pantomime just after Christmas, and she used to get stage fright, so it's obviously really, really helped her. So it's been really, really positive.